We are off to the races. Good morning, Panicans.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. What is it?
Really
It's Tuesday.
Peace be with you.
I think I'm the only one that don't sleep at night anymore.
It's Tuesday, February the 24th.
Yeah, it is.
2026.
And, excuse me, it is National Tortilla Chip.
Throat?
Yeah, kind of. National Tortilla Chip Day.
That's today?
That's today.
Oh.
And we had tortilla chips last night. I know. On the border, as I said, on the border is the best. And it's one thing I'll buy from Walmart. On the border chips and salsa.
See, I disagree.
Oh my gosh! Do not say something.
Are they
like
made
that.
in Juarez?
I do. I disagree.
Mexico?
What is it? I think it's called Cantina chips are the best. They're authentic restaurant chips. They're thin, but they're not too thin. You know the thin chips that break when you go to scoop up the guacamole, right?
He's describing on the border.
No, it's not on the border. Dude, they're probably actually. The funny thing is, they're probably made by the same freaking tortilla manufacturer.
On the border. I thought I saw them in Orlando area. With you guys have the actual restaurant on the border down there, right?
We've got like 6,437 restaurants in Orlando.
The skillet looked like he doesn't
I
eat
told
Mexican
my wife when we
food.
moved to Orlando. Sidebar: I spoke with our mortgage agent, mortgage broker yesterday. She's going to call me at 10 a.m. when we get off the air. My one from yesterday, he's like, dude, you didn't tell me you're buying a house in Florida. I'm not licensed in Florida. I'll hook you up with my girl down there. And then she called me at 7 o'clock last night, and she said, we'll deal with it this morning. So I'm telling you, dude, ball's rolling, full steam ahead. I want to play this. Skillet has to close his eyes. He can listen for the first 10 seconds.
You're going to upset me this morning already. It's Tuesday, right?
It's no. We're not upsetting anyone. You can see the beginning right here.
Why are you picking on me?
Okay. Why are you picking on me?
Why are you picking on me?
Okay. Here we are. Where the hell is this? Okay, there it is. Okay. Skillet, close your eyes. I'm going to trust you because I can't see your... I'll tell you when to close your eyes, okay?
All right.
Actually, I'll tell you when to open your eyes. You can listen now.
All right.
Okay, ready, guys?
Yep.
Guys, I'm at the post office. Got a present for Skillet.
Oh.
Okay. Wait, okay. Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Darts.
Okay, wait.
You're sending me darts.
That's a pretty big package.
Next stop, Orlando.
Oh, wow. What is going to Florida?
Oh, you're sending me a present.
Hell, it looked like something from Valentine's Day.
You
like a dildo.
The two things it was, right? Because I couldn't see your faces. You saw what it was, right?
No.
Weed. I love it.
Yeah, I wrapped it in peanut butter.
Well, when his daughter comes home, she's going to be like, somebody was sticking a carrot in my peanut butter.
Let's just say, Skillet, it was gay. That's all I'm saying. It was gay. But from Tyler.
Why does it look like somebody stuck a carrot in my peanut butter?
It says
I don't get
it'll be
it.
there. She said by Thursday, but that's way too soon. I'm like,
He poked holes in it way before you.
Nah, dude, it'll get there quick. When I sent you the Patriot pouch, dude, I literally sent that out Monday, and you got it what, Tuesday?
Yeah,
it was fast.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah, Alex is sending me some of his things. I told him I'd do them on the show.
There you go, Iron Bean.
Not Iron Bean coffee.
Patriot pouch.
Patriot pouch.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let's get go ahead, Skillet. Sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what do we got going on in Georgia?
Oh, well, Georgia it was great. Everybody kind of knows about it, but they know it's a process. So ever since the 2020 election, you've had all these groups that kept suing the state of Georgia. And they said, well, we've investigated, we did a recount, we've hand count every single paper ballot, and it all came out perfect, and there were no discrepancies. It was the most perfect election ever casted in 2020. That's what Rassenberger told us. And that's what the government told us.
Sure.
Right. Well, we all knew that was bullshit. We all knew.
That's okay.
Oh yeah.
That's
Listen.
okay.
Listen to Skillet.
That wasn't a bad
Skillet's
one.
Skillet's
That
like,
wasn't.
let's just
Hey,
not cuss
that
people.
that,
Let's
that
just not
wasn't a
cuss.
bad one. That wasn't a
It's
bad
so
one.
simple,
Go
man.
ahead.
We just should
So
not cuss.
they put together an election board, and our friend Sally Grubbs is on the board. And so the election board meeting was last week, opened a big can of worms about the 2020 election held in Fulton County. There was one guy, an election advocate and founder of Voter GA, Garland Favorito, who's an IT consultant, who has voiced doubts about the use of electronic election machines since the Hanging Chad 2000 presidential election in Florida. So the Hanging Chad that caused a ruckus in the 2000 presidential election caused all these states to get electric election machines. Okay, some of them work well, some of them don't work well. And Favorito has always said that this is not a good idea because you can hack computers. He's an IT guy. So for 20 years, for 26 years, Favorito has been casting lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits. Well, his lawsuit is the reason we're here now, is because Kurt Olson obtained a search warrant and the FBI raids the Fulton County election warehouses seeking 2020 paper ballots. They carried away roughly 700 boxes of the 2020 election records. Fulton County Commissioner Rob Pitts filed a lawsuit against the federal government seeks the return of the paper documents. Georgia State Republican Senator Greg Dulce demands Fulton County elections be overseen by a new state board because he cites failure in properly maintaining its voter rolls, gross negligence in maintenance of ballots, and demands replacing Fulton County's election superintendent. So for 5 years, Garland Favorito and Voter GA has sued the government of Fulton County to let them see the paper ballots of 2020 election ballots. A judge ruled that they had to hold them, they had to keep them, and they should be available to just inspect, not to keep, not to get, just to inspect. Well, they kept telling them that over the last 5 years, Fulton County allegations of missing ballot images of the paper ballots. Fulton County's position over the last 5 years is we don't have them anymore. They're gone. We don't have them. So that's what they've told motion after motion after motion filed by Favorito. We don't have them. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, the FBI goes into an election warehouse, picks up 700 boxes of paper ballots. So they did have them.
Favorito, it sounds like in the beginning he's on our side, right? Or is he not?
Okay. Favorito is on independent side, Democrat side, Republican side. He just wants a fair election. Okay, right. He doesn't want people to use.
Imagine that there's people that are still like that. I know we make fun of Democrats all the time, but there are Democrats that still like. Do you guys know any Democrats? I don't really. My mom's a Democrat. I don't even know any.
Yeah, my wife's a Democrat,
and so she wants fair elections. She was talking. You were saying yesterday about Illinois. She's mad about the checks going out. So there are level-headed Democrats still.
Very few.
Very few.
Yeah.
I know young Democrats, and they cannot believe that anybody in the Democrat Party would lie to them, and Republicans do nothing but lie.
Yeah,
right.
I've heard that one.
So the board had to make a decision whether to have an oversight committee overview the Fulton County future elections, and Fulton County's out of it, and they have an independent board, an independent body that comes in and runs their election, or not. They voted not to do that. They voted to allow Fulton County to continue to hold their own elections, even though they haven't had a correct one in 26 years in Fulton County. But they left the door open that says that she signaled, the board member signaled that the door is not closed on taking further actions once more information becomes available from the DOJ and the FBI seizure. Now, Garland Favorito believes the paper records seized will show counterfeit ballots that cost President Trump the election in Georgia, though he doesn't know who orchestrated the scheme. We don't know who did it. We haven't seen the ballots. Let's just take a vote. Do we know who robbed us of the election in Fulton County?
They got video of
Yeah,
it.
I think we have a few people.
Got video of it.
The state at this point just needs to take control of the
So where does Brian Kemp
elections.
come into this? Because I mean, we all know when it happened, and
Mhm.
there was this brouhaha with him and Trump, and then they made up. But Trump and Kemp
Right.
over the years, right? So, but when it was going down, Kemp was the worst thing that ever happened. So, I mean, look at DeSantis. He wouldn't let that crap happen in his state. Like, so
Well, there's
we have
one
ours
county.
counted.
There's one county in Florida. Every voting
Broward.
cycle,
Broward
yes,
County.
they
Yeah.
always have a problem.
Right.
They always have a problem.
Well,
And
and so they got rid of Brenda. Don't you remember the black Brenda that
Yep.
said, we're still counting ballots because we haven't gotten to
they
the
tossed
winner
her out.
yet, Well, they replaced her with another person. That person immediately went out and registered all the 16-year-olds in Broward County to vote. Even though they're not allowed to vote, they got their names and registered to vote with promising to wait till they're 18 to vote. How stupid is that?
yeah, remember when we were doing this kids voting thing? Nancy Pelosi wanted to
I
let
think voting
16-year-olds
age ought to be
voting.
21. To be honest with
Yeah.
you.
They obviously obviously there's a problem.
There should be
it's
some
funny.
reforms for sure.
They want 16-year-olds to be able to vote, but in Virginia, they just put forth legislation on the floor where you can't be 18 to purchase a firearm. You have to have an adult. But what's the age you're an adult in Virginia?
21.
No, 18.
18.
Oh,
You're an adult when you're 18. So in order to purchase a firearm now in Virginia in this bill, they want you to be able to have an adult with you if you are 18. But in the Virginia Constitution, you're an adult when you're 18. You can serve in the military. You can sign a contract, right?
Credit cards, all that.
Credit card, all of them. But you can't own a firearm. It's the most bizarre thing I've seen in history.
So how does this tie back to Kemp? Is he red-handed on any of this?
Of course he is.
well,
Because he's the leader, right?
yeah, they
I'm
had
asking from a layman. Like, I don't like the guy. I want to know if I can pin him.
well, they had an election in 22, and then they had an election in 24. All right, they're going to have another election in 26. Well, in 24, they hired this auditing company to go in Georgia and audit the election of 24. They said it was perfect, no problems. I was writing about it in the podcast with the John Frederick show. It wasn't perfect. They had to backfill ballots, thousands and thousands of ballots. They had to backfill to make the audit perfect. James, you've done audits in warehouses. Do you just buy some bolts and throw them in the bin to make it even on your audit?
No, I could get fired for that.
Exactly. So that's exactly what they did in this auditing company.
Yeah,
and all the
and
auditors
if
of
we
America.
were,
was
Skillet,
how
if we
it
were
was.
more than 5% off
Right.
total value of what's supposed to be in the warehouse, I get written up as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're more than 15% off, I could lose my job.
Right. So there you go.
Let's see Bridget, what she has to say about this. This was Carl sent this. Is this recent?
The American people and the census manipulation that Democrats have been using to influence American elections for years. In 2018, Republican leadership, including the president himself, called for a citizenship question to be included in the 2020 census reports. To no one's surprise, when the Democrats took control, these requests went unanswered, and the question of citizenship was waived. But the fact remains that the concept of sanctuary cities and radical blue states ignoring immigration law and using the illegal population to manipulate the lines of congressional districts is in fact unconstitutional. Not only are there severe constitutional concerns from the inclusion of illegal immigrants, but the Census Bureau admitted to having made several, quote, errors in their 2020 census report. Convenient, seeing that as in 2020, Donald Trump was on top of the ticket. In 2020, the Bureau undercounted in primarily deep red states such as Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Texas, all red, while overcounting in radical left blue states like Delaware, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, Ohio,
How do you
and Rhode
overcount on
Island.
an island?
This egregious error led to many states being denied proper representation in Congress and the Electoral College. So much so that these errors cost Republicans not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 seats in the House.
Right.
In addition to the 2020 miscounting, including illegal immigrants in the census has improperly granted radical left blue states 12 additional seats
Yeah,
in the United
plans
States House of
working.
Representatives.
Okay, we know their plans.
It's a total of 18.
Is this guy in Georgia?
I want a new
No,
census in Florida.
Yeah. It's Wesley Hunt. That's the guy that's running for U.S. Senate in Texas.
Yeah, Joe Biden screwed up the Senate totals. Okay, so I want a new one.
I want a new one too.
The other one I sent you was the virtual mailbox in Georgia.
From Dolezal. Yeah, we had him on recently, right? Okay, let's see what he's got.
I got you. I told you all.
Hey, y'all, here outside of Senator Warnock's church, and Senator Warnock opposes voter ID, opposes the SAVE Act. But crazily enough, someone's using his address here to illegally register to vote. In Georgia, you have to register to vote at your primary address. And I've already shown you a lot of locations, UPS stores, empty buildings, empty homeless shelters that have been closed for a decade, where people are illegally registered to vote. But this is just another one. This person has been registered to vote here since 2018, is still currently registered to vote here on the 2026 voter rolls. And it's just another example of Fulton County's inability and unwillingness to follow Georgia law. But crazy enough that it's happening right here at the primary employment place of a United States senator.
And
So there's one more I sent you.
Who's the biggest county in Georgia?
Yep, there's
Fulton
one
County.
more I sent you. It says, holy smokes, 139 people are registered here to vote, Fulton County. I don't know if you got that one, virtual mailbox, Georgia.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
It's a dude with a hat on that kind of looks like you.
In Arizona, who's the biggest county? Maricopa.
Maricopa, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna happen in the big one.
This is a commercial address. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Jason, it's blatant. Anybody can see it, literally in big letters. This is a commercial address. We're outside 1441 Woodmont Lane, another one of these suspicious places where a ton of people are registered to vote from. And this is the actual physical place of 1441 and also 1445, two different places where people are able to register to vote.
There you go.
But obviously this doesn't seem like 139 people live in a tiny place like this. So what's going on here?
Yeah. So this is a virtual mailbox. It's similar to say the UPS store or one of the other post office boxes, but a lot of these type of places people will use for legitimate purposes. For example, if I travel a lot, I want to get my mail delivered here. Maybe they open my mail. Different ones have different features, but they might open my mail and scan it for me, so that way I get my mail remotely.
Okay.
However, the law is clear. You need to register to vote where you live. You can have this
office box.
Yeah, I mean, I've used these when I had a business out of state. Like when I still had a business in Philadelphia, so I had a virtual, but I could still go there and work in the office. But yeah, I mean, I get but I mean, where are the checks and balances? And this goes right back to Kemp, right? Because he is the head of the state.
Yeah, this is all planned. It's all mapped out. We've exposed it. Do something about it.
You know what they always argue, though, guys, is what does it matter? None of these would have been enough to change the election outcome. How many times have you heard that?
Yeah, because it's a little bit here.
Every time they get caught. Every time they get caught.
A little bit there.
That's the thing. All those little pieces add up. So 139 there, 139 over here, and it all adds up. And this stems from Kemp, because I don't know if you guys remember this, but back when COVID happened, President Trump, prior to COVID, President Trump and Kemp got along great. They got along great. Everything was great. COVID happened. Trump's like, we have to shut down for, 2 weeks to stop the spread, right? 2 weeks to stop the spread. Kemp said, I'm not doing it. President Trump got mad. And like he always does, I love President Trump. But if you do something that he doesn't want you to do, he goes scorched earth on you. And that's exactly what happened. He went scorched earth on Kemp because he wouldn't shut his state down. And that caused a divide between President Trump and Kemp. And from that point on, Kemp was like, screw you. I don't really have your back anymore. And that's exactly how it fell apart. Exactly. So then the Democrats and Kemp decided they were going to work together because they were going to screw President Trump over. And America, by the way, all of America. And that's exactly how this all... You can go back. I'm sure you can find clips of President Trump arguing or going off on Kemp for not shutting down his state. I specifically remember sitting there in my living room and thinking, he's really mad at Kemp for saying I'm not closing my state down? Right? Florida likes to take credit for, we're the only ones that were... You were shut down for a little bit. Remember, DeSantis was walking around with a mask on, getting off the plane. Kemp was the only one, as much as I don't like Kemp, was the only one that said, we're not doing this. And I believe Kristi Noem was the other one. We're not shutting down.
Yeah, South Dakota. Well, what's going on in Fulton County with, who do we just send in there, the Barbie? Isn't there some big brouhaha what's going on with the Barbie? Hey, look what I got.
Did you get it signed?
Yeah, dude. I got certificate of authenticity and everything, dude.
Well,
Would that cost you $5?
Georgia's a very powerful state. It's a growing
the only one I could find. Go ahead.
They grow a lot of chickens. They got a lot of transportation companies, UPS headquarters. There's a lot going on, but it's turning blue, and it's going to be blue, and it's going to be.
You're talking about Georgia,
old southern blue state one day.
Is it just me, or is Skillet looking a little like Steve Gruber this morning?
I don't feel. I mean, I've been doing so many chores around the house.
Did you see it, Tyler?
He's supposed to be retired.
He
looks like Steve Gruber.
Skillet, I know it's hard.
It's the dyed hair too.
You got to look directly into your wife's eyes.
Pull it up,
Look
Tyler.
directly into your wife's eyes.
I sent it to you. You should be able to pull up the picture of Steve Gruber. It looks like Skillet. It's got to be the one with the vest.
I'm going to make fun of the hair because I don't have any hair.
Neither do I.
I wear the hat because it makes.
I didn't take a shit. It's for you guys want to do a 5 o'clock radio show, and it's like too early to get up that early and take a shower, man.
It looks fine. I'm just saying.
I bring my.
You're looking a little like Steve Gruber. No, take it off. Now you really look like him.
I bring my A game.
You bring my A game.
I'm sitting here looking at Skillet. I'm like, who the hell does he look like?
You know what, guys? Ohio is a red state.
No, I like the hair. What happened?
I think we're the only red state in the country that's a sanctuary state and city. Is there any others?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
It's the high quality internet. It's taken forever. There
you go. Oh, it wasn't showing on your end?
Yeah, it's showing now.
You do look like Gruber.
You do.
He's a good-looking guy. I like that guy.
You look like Steve Gruber.
He's in Michigan, too. Michigan's so beautiful. Man, I wish we could just take back the beautiful states.
I don't
it's so frustrating. I love Michigan.
Too cold.
All right, so what else we got going on here? That was awesome. Thank you for that, Skillet. We're going to stay on top of a double douche and a...
Oh, wait, I have a prediction.
Oh, boy.
In 2026, Fulton County is going to have problems with their election. Okay,
no,
I'm just going to make a prediction now.
Way.
Okay, I screwed up. We were supposed to start with good news. What happened? Okay, and then we'll get to some
good news.
Then we'll get to some clickbait, Carl. All right, check this out. Good News Network. Moving companies offer free moves to domestic violence victims in 8 states. Thousands so far. Guys, I'm going to let you take a guess on where the biggest state with the domestic violence is.
West Virginia.
Mississippi.
California.
Florida.
California.
How's
that even possible?
Look, last year alone, and they're called meathead movers. Last year alone, meathead movers
California is where all the hippies are.
Yeah.
It used to be. We'll go back to the Michigan talk too.
I
full of
think
illegal immigrants
robbing the system. They're probably
106.
faking the whole thing just to get a free move.
Dude, they will even pay. I read through this yesterday. So last year alone, Meathead Movers, awesome name, He doesn't look like much of a meathead, though. Completed 106 domestic violence-related moves for free, 8 emergency moves in the cities they serve: San Luis Obispo, Ventura County, Orange County, Fresno, and Bakersfield. They also will provide security if the said domestic violence victim needs security during the
move out.
transport. So that's good news, right? I mean, they're trying to do their part.
Offer it here, I would use it.
25 years. They've got like 100 companies now that are. What happened here? They've got like 100 companies here now that Okay, we got problems going on with my freaking mouse.
Well, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's what mouse traps are for.
This page isn't responding. Wait.
Well, don't worry. But that's pretty cool. They offer a good service like that so somebody can get out of a situation.
It's a shame they don't offer it here because I could have showed y'all seen my black eye.
They might. I didn't even get to the juice where it was saying how many companies have adopted it now nationwide, which is crazy. They started that trend. And of course, I got to get to this because I'm a little obsessed. Okay, guys, make sure I pause this. We don't want to hear. Okay, Jane Seymour turned 75.
This is too early for this. I haven't even had breakfast yet.
75, dude. Are you kidding me? 75?
She's hot.
Wow.
Dude, 75.
She looks good in her Depends. She looks good in her Depends.
Dude, I'm telling you, let's see here. This is
Skillet. You know you would take it for a ride.
Oh, dude, I would take it for a ride for 100%, 1,000%.
I would take it for a ride.
Oh, dude, 75?
That's pretty impressive.
That's your birthday cake at 70.
Listen,
I told my wife she's gonna live till she's like 100 or 210.
If your date needs an oxygen tank beside the bed, get out, run.
I don't think she does.
Run.
Dude, remember when she was in what was that movie? Wedding Crashers. She's a hot mom, and she said, "Cat." Her name was Cat. Kitty cat.
Kitty cat.
Yeah, okay, cat. Kitty cat.
Kitty cat.
Dude,
I'd do
when
her.
I saw that,
That's all I'm saying.
my gosh,
I'd do her.
No question. I would leave my wife for her.
All right, that
always reminds me of
That's
Jill
Tyler.
Biden.
That is
Jill
Tyler's
Biden.
celebrity crush.
Yeah.
I thought it was Steve Gruber.
I'm
No.
sure Jill Biden probably had one of those buttons that would lock the door if you went into her bedroom.
Yeah, right. Whatever happened to her ex-husband? Didn't he kill his new wife or something? That's on trial right now.
Supposedly,
Joe Biden's ex-husband. Yeah. Oh yeah. Allegedly.
Everyone's innocent until convicted.
Right.
By a jury.
Okay. Well, I can't get over the Seymour thing when I saw that pop last night.
Wow.
75.
That's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie.
I'm telling you, that diaper's an icebreaker, man. It just drags it right down.
I don't know. Dude, so am I reading this correctly that El Mencho, he was busted from it was a lover?
Yeah. He was visiting his hottie, having a little entwine.
Romantic
And a little booty call, baby.
Cost him his life. Did they kill her too? That's what I want to know. I haven't heard that part.
His wife's probably the one that dropped the dime.
Well,
I have had enough of this.
Hey,
I will no longer put up with your infidelity.
Yeah, now, I know a little bit about airport security, right? They shot up a terminal, but they did not report to everybody that they also blew up an airplane. There were aircraft that burned to the ground. They didn't report
There were
that.
a lot of things that burned to the ground.
Yeah.
I watched them blow up a pharmacy.
That scared everybody to death in the United States about aircraft.
Everybody needs to realize that they have...
Yeah, anything that's going to freaking...
Yep, everybody needs to realize that the cartel has rocket-propelled grenades.
Right.
Fully automatic machine guns.
Yep. We have
50 caliber.
Yeah, and we have major airports beside major highways like Fort Lauderdale, Orlando,
Yeah. So that's right over our border. You don't think those things came in? We know surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled smuggled
yeah.
into this country. We have no idea where they are. They still don't know where they are.
You know what's
Yeah.
sad about that is they can always tell us that stuff did get across the border, but then they can't tell us where they go.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know it's here.
Yeah, it's like,
know.
Because
But
they don't
they
want
have
to.
surface-to-air missiles in Mexico, right, pointing at us.
Yeah.
that's like there's supposedly a small amount of nuclear materials that got across the southern border like 3 years ago, but nobody seems to know where it went.
Right.
Probably went into Joe Biden's heart.
Could
Keep him
be,
alive
could-
during his
could be,
presidency.
could be.
Oh man.
But supposedly this is
I'm thinking
good
about
enough
Seymour
material to
again.
make a dirty bomb with.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Why would Joe Biden make you think of Seymour?
There is a,
Oh man.
and I'll look it up today. I'll give it to you. I'll try to get it to you before tomorrow. But one of the content creator guys who used to be like in the military, CIA, and all this stuff, he's now a podcaster. He was interviewing a woman who says that there is going to be a October 7th attack in America, and it won't be just in one location, and it'll happen all at the same time.
Right. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't we not see that?
Right, and because this is what she does for a living. She studies communications. You know, one of those people can read between the lines, break down code and stuff like that. And the chatter across America is this is going to happen, and there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Well, if we had a guy in office with balls, maybe we could stop it. I want to see doors kicked in like Iraq. I don't care. You're innocent. You're innocent. You're innocent. You're innocent. Kick my door down. Look through it. It's fine. I want a nationwide door kicking campaign until you're getting so close to the target that it starts exploding.
You fascist.
Well, I don't think you necessarily need a nationwide door kicking in campaign. I think you need to
Carl's
go
like,
back
not my
to,
house.
No, I think you need to go back to racial profiling. Let's be honest. You need to go back to racial profiling and looking at people's social media content that they're putting out, because you can see a lot of times, even with these trans shooters, where they're heading. You know, where their head is, what they're going to do. And there's always people in their lives that they've alluded this stuff to and just remain silent.
Yeah.
And after the fact, you know, imagine that. Imagine, you know, somebody that went and shot up a school and you could have stopped it because all the signs were there.
Mm-hmm.
But you just chose to ignore it because you're like, that person would never do that. But if somebody's saying something like that and they're that deranged, if they're deranged enough to think that they're the opposite sex of what they were born, right? Because we know this is a mental illness. It's starting to become more and more and more and more clear that transgenderism is a mental illness, much like liberalism is a mental illness. They kind of go hand in hand in many ways.
Right, and it floats to the top and with violence.
Yes.
Well, there's two things that I've noticed. If you want to talk about reading between the lines, I've noticed that these aggressive transgenders that seem to be now presidential.
Can you read between those lines?
Yeah, that needs to be that are now presidential assassination people. Right? They all have something in common. They're transgender. They're furriers. Right? That's something in common. The other thing is, once authorities look at their social media, that it's all been scrubbed. That's the second thing that's in common with all of them. All their media has been scrubbed. Okay, I throw the flag on that. I'm throwing the flag because I want to read the messages that they received before they did the event.
Well, and what happens
I know damn well they're getting directed by some group telling them to go do this.
The social media companies or the CIA go in and they scrub it right away.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as it happens, they just boom before anybody can pull up anything.
Well, that's like the guy that shot and since they're on YouTube, undeleted or unalive, sorry, deleted, whatever. Charlie Kirk. He was part of that Queers of Salt Lake City.
Right. Armed queer.
They knew about it. It was a gun club.
Right.
They had talked about because one of the people that was in the club actually said something about it. Mm-hmm. And because they asked him him, her, whatever you want to call it, about social media with this person. And he said he never seen any of his social media, so he wouldn't know. But he knew he had it because he DM'd him before.
Right, because they start kicking in the doors of these people. You're going to have a cat fight scratching at your door, telling everything what's going on. So that's what I want to see, right? I want to see that.
And we remember.
I want to get back to the racial profiling and profiling and door kicking campaign. My door's unlocked.
Racial profiling worked. In case of point, New York City.
But this goes back to the 4,000 mosques in the United States. I mean, this is just not compatible with America.
It's not.
I mean, this is insane. So, again, there's going to be this fine line, and Trump can't do any of it. It's not even Trump's fault. He's just handcuffed. Like, we don't really have a commander in chief. I mean, he can go bomb Iran because, well, the neocons run everything, and the military industrial complex, they love that crap.
So did
but
you see
if you want to kick down the mosque doors and say, hey, you're not compatible with America, these buildings are being terminated by, like.
Well, and you also have to remember individual states have individual rights. Right, so the federal government to go in and start kicking in mosque doors, there would be such a court battle, and the federal government would lose because Trump would have to enact the Insurrection Act in order to do it. He couldn't just go in unless there's a blatant terrorism threat. That's the only thing that would give him authority to do that.
Yeah, and he's already endorsed the governor of Texas, so the one that's already there now.
Abbott.
Yeah.
So did you guys see the story where they
Hot Wheels?
They passed they passed a law to allow certain religions to sacrifice animals.
Who?
I thought I read about that a while ago.
This is not that old.
And the Taliban, actually, now that you're on that topic, this is a couple days ago. They have new laws. The Taliban just released new laws where you can beat your wife and all, that you can't really bruise them and you can't break their bones. You can slap them around, but
well, I always thought that was that's not okay.
There's a limit. Yeah, well, I mean, I plead the fifth.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
Well, they have Sharia.
My wife's Brazilian, dude. She'll beat me up.
Well, they have, 3 Sharia tribunal things in Texas.
Yeah.
And that's all about being allowed to beat your wife.
As long as you have Muslims running the country, i.e., Omar, Mandani. What's the other one? Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah.
I mean,
the whole squad. Let's be honest.
Oh,
and then we go back to how we have this October 7th that's going to happen. I mean, do we deserve it? I mean, if you can't do anything, so it goes back to, and I know I'm just an R word. Why can't we have a leader, whether it's Trump or anybody, that can just eradicate this? Is it because, my suspicion, we have handcuffed our own country?
It's because these groups use our own freedoms against us.
Yeah, they use
their own freedoms. So that's what I'm saying. We got to take the freedom away.
Freedom of religion. They use the ability to be able to come into our country illegally, right? Illegally, and nothing is done to them.
Right, and now that you give them a little bit of money, take that money away, see what happens.
See,
go ahead.
The idea of saying. Go ahead.
Well, it's like the old saying, don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. That's what America is, and that's why America will fail. It has no choice but to fail. It cannot survive at this rate. It's impossible.
These states,
you can't have everybody from all over the world speaking all these different languages. Oh, diversity is our strength. What?
But they're not.
How? If I'm yelling fire in a building and no one can understand me, it doesn't seem very strong.
No.
The whole thing is these states need to get together and take the case that the Islamic faith, which is a governance, not just a religion, needs to be looked at the Supreme Court level to be determined not valid for the freedom of religion in the Constitution, because it does not work. Their goal is to eliminate us, not to live with us. That makes it invalid right there. So once that happens and it gets proven that the Islamic faith is unconstitutional and it's on grounds that nothing will work, nothing will happen. And Congress needs to pass a law to not allow anybody who claims to be in the Muslim faith, because they can't lie about that part. That's the only thing they can't lie about. If they're Muslim, they got to say they're Muslim. Otherwise, they're doing a disservice to Allah. To not allow Muslims to hold office in any government office, and at least they can handle it at the federal level. It's each state that has to handle it on that level. But
and we have this English guy. You're going to have our country's going to be infiltrated with English because they're getting the heck out of the UK, man. They're leaving. They're gone. They're like, hey, sorry.
This dude just pulled over.
Hope he locked his keys in his car.
No, he's spraying, dude.
94 used to get out and pray. I've seen it all.
Yeah, there you go.
It's stop and go. There's cars in the ditch. It's 5 o'clock and he's praying on the side of 94.
That's all right.
Only in America, baby. And you know, diversity is not our strength.
America, land of the free-for-all. My bad.
Yeah, so this English guy's on the radio yesterday morning on AM in Orlando, and he's complaining about police shooting people at Walmart. He goes, you shouldn't be shot for just shoplifting in Walmart. He's from the UK. I'm like, why don't you go back to the UK, dude? Because number one, they weren't shoplifting. The 16-year-old was running through a Walmart with a revolver in his hands. Okay, the police didn't have anything to do other than to shoot him.
You see, I say the problem is we're not shooting enough people at Walmart.
Yeah.
Right? Well, this kind of does tie back into criminal justice reform. Now that you alluded to that, I think that this goes back to our own Congress and our own handcuffed rogue judges that handcuff us. If we had serious punishments, I mean, you can still do a right to a fair and speedy trial. You can all do that, but once we have determined 100% without a doubt that you killed that old lady or you did this or you did that, then it's immediate firing squad, hanging, public square. I don't care. And if you're stealing from Walmart, I know this is probably not going to be very popular. I think that they need to cut fingers off. If you're stealing, fingers get cut off. One at a time, though. We're not going to take the whole hand. You can you got 10 times to learn your lesson.
Well, that's a little extreme. Let's be honest. And I'm not even a liberal. I say cane them real bad.
Cane them?
Yeah. For shoplifting, come on.
I'll take this. I'll take this back to the guy.
I think there should be chain gangs.
For shoplifting, I can't even grab that when we're on camera.
I think when you go to prison, you should do hard time. Hard time.
Chain gang's a good one. I told you I had a customer from Africa, and he said this is like 2 years ago, and he said they'll still cut your finger off for stealing in South Africa. So one, you can tell who the thief is, and two, they don't steal anymore.
And there must have been a lot of government officials had their arms cut off when they were stealing all those farms from the South Africans. I'll tell you that.
I bet stealing would go down real quick.
Hey, I take it personal, man. I didn't shoplift nothing.
I didn't steal anymore for years.
Well, and that's the thing. They don't want to deter it. Right? They don't want to deter it. Yeah, that whole thing that you just said, diversity is our strength. Diversity is not our strength. Diversity is chaos because you have too many people going in too many opposite directions. Right? Community is strength and assimilation is strength. Right? So they take these words, and words matter, and how you say things and what you say. I always pay attention to how people say things and what they say. That's why I'm usually kind of can read into what they're saying. Right. Okay. Tom Holman, perfect example. Everybody came down on me in the Getter chat because I'm saying, dude, we're pulling out. We're surrendering. The wife's like, no, we're not. There's 2,000 of them staying in there. Oh, panicking. No, we're pulling out. Boom, boom. Couple of weeks later, well, we're withdrawing. We're scaling it down. Yeah, we're keeping a couple of strategic groups in there to combat fraud. Right.
And people were upset because the police was arresting somebody. You had a protester jump on the back of the policeman, and they had another policeman would grab them and throw them off, and they said that was wrong.
This goes back to
we're in the twilight zone, guys. We're in the twilight zone.
You know what? Play that clip in New York City yesterday.
Okay, wrong one. Mandami's not a communist. No, that's not that one.
No,
I have it's the airport. So I can't.
Not the airport one. That's That's not New York City. It should be. I'll resend it to you. But this kind of plays into the disrespect. I'll resend it to you. The disrespect that
I know. I thought it was...
You know, it's
And
funny
when
though.
these protesters
this
do
shows you
that,
the disrespect that's out there for police, and especially right now under Mandani, right? Because right now under him, it's a free for all. I mean, if you think about what this moron has done, right? So
and he
he
just
wants
got
people
started.
to come. He wants people to come shovel. The first problem you need to say in your head is New York City is a state or a city that's in the Northeast. We get snow all the time here.
Mhm.
You don't have enough staff to shovel your own damn sidewalks. You got to solicit people to come shovel sidewalks. Then this guy that says you don't need voter ID to vote wants two forms of ID. He wants your social security number. People lose their social security number all the time, their card all the time. But yet he wants you to bring it to shovel. He wants two forms of ID: a driver's license or a state ID, and a credit card of some form or a bank card. So if I want to go shovel snow and make a measly $30 an hour to freeze my ass off, I got to bring two forms of ID and my social security card. You got to be kidding me.
Right.
Watch this.
They're throwing snowballs at the cop.
Oh, I'd have a water
That's
cannon
assault.
out and blow
That's
these
assault.
guys
Welcome
away.
to New York City, baby.
I don't care what they say. That's assault.
That is,
Yeah.
and there's more and more and more videos. You can find so many. I have mine too. It's pretty raggedy.
I have no
My original.
respect.
This
I
is
have
my
no
original.
respect for anyone
Dude,
who
are you
hasn't
nuts?
arrested the companies who are paying these protesters yet. That's the easiest thing they could do right now is arrest those companies, those NGOs.
Tyler, go back and freeze that. We can open up offshore accounts in James' name, and we can.
Yeah, we got that. That's forever on the internet, right there, James.
We can.
All
No,
all
no, I
this
have
will
to
do
delete
is
this one.
prove
Let
to
me
y'all how
capture
poor
that.
I really am. That's all.
It's I'm here for
Everything
your
else is
protection.
gifts.
So
Everything.
touching down on the tariffs. So I put this in the rundown. Okay, so we got another 150 days. What happens after that? Are we just assuming that Congress is going to do something this time, or are we just going to run out, try another 150?
Congress isn't
And-
going to do anything.
They're not going to do anything. That's exactly
Right,
why
so
he didn't use Section 122 of the Trades Act, 1974. He didn't use that from the beginning because he knew it was only 150 days, right? And exactly what's going to happen is what happened with Alina Habba and that other Lindsay Halligan. Remember, 170 days. He can appoint the U.S. attorney to New Jersey. Then after that, if the Senate doesn't vote on it, they become null and void.
Trump has 150 days to arrest all the representatives who have illegally increased their net value illegally. I mean, go after all the representatives who have gotten.
We'd have no one left in Congress.
We wouldn't.
Be done.
Well, and Nancy Mace breaks this down. It breaks it in down with Epstein and just the way the cabal works, right? That nobody's going to be held accountable. And when you have Nancy Mace, who I think is kind of a middle of the road politician, she's not super hard right? She's not super left. She's somewhere kind of in the middle, on the outskirts of conservatism in many ways, I think. I think she's right there where most America is, right? She sat down and she basically said, listen, we're not going to get any accountability. Why? Because the Congress and the Senate and the corrupt judges, they all just protect their own. They want to keep this going, and they know that preservation comes with preserving the other corrupt people so that the dominoes don't fall. That's what it is. That's all it boils down to. Rhinos are right there alongside them. Kemp, Brian Raffensperger, with all the fraud in Fulton County. There's how many times? Yeah, that looks a little sticky. What were you doing with that?
We got to do a giveaway. Who do you think actually wants this?
Nobody.
I got to get out of my office before the CIA kicks the door in. Yeah.
this is
So
Sally Grubbs.
I saw her on. She was on War Room a couple days ago. Grubbs, Sally Grubbs.
She's
I
been
didn't click
Sally
on it.
Grubbs did really good during those meetings, man.
Yeah.
She did.
Is
Yeah,
it
she did.
Tuesday?
I
It's
was
Tuesday.
impressed. The only thing that I wish she would have done is she's like, we'll bring a Ratzenberger in next month in our meeting. No, how about you bring him in right away? How about you have an emergency session, drag his ass in? And the other thing that needs to be done, the state just needs to take control of Fulton County elections. We can no longer allow them to run this process because there's too many. Let's just say there is no fraud and there's really just all these irregularities, right? Isn't that what the clerical errors, right? It's still incompetence and it's still affecting the outcome of elections.
Right.
So either way you slice and dice this, something has to be done. They're not capable of doing it. It's clearly obvious that this just continues and continues and continues. So that's the only thing I would say I was a little disappointed. Is she should have said, you know what? No, we need to get him in here right away. We can't wait a month. You wait a month, it gives them the opportunity to kind of prepare.
But to put a pin in and go back to the tariffs, we have 150 days again, right?
Yep.
That's the clock started. Okay, 150 days is up. What happens?
What happens? I'm not so much concerned about that. I'm concerned about what happens with the money that we've already collected. Remember, that's going to a lower court to be decided. Now, the problem with that is people have to realize that the president of the United States can't just return that money. Congress has to do it, right?
Right. But this is a blip in time, what we've collected already. Let's say that this actually sticks for the rest of our lives. That money really means nothing. Are we going to be able to keep them? Or moving forward, can we keep tariffs or can we not? Or can we be a country with reciprocal tariffs or not?
We're a country that can impose tariffs on anybody because we get imposed tariffs on all of our goods.
Well, not according to the Supreme Court in the way Trump did it.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't use.
My qualm is it's going to end. So by the time Trump's out of office, he's burnt through all these 150-day allotments, right?
Well, he can only implement this 150-day allotment one time. Right.
But he just did a 150-day on another one. So how many more 150-day?
Well, this is it. That's it. The 1974 Section 122. You can only implement that one time, and then after that 150 days is up, I have the statute here. It clearly says that Congress has to act. So Congress can either do nothing and they go away, or they can implement them and codify them into law at that point.
So if we lose the midterms,
it don't matter if we lose the midterms or not. There's too many Republicans that want this to go away anyway.
Right. I see. Yes, I concur. I agree.
Yeah.
It's just another word for agree, James.
It's just going to create the revolution faster.
I understand how you speak. I get it.
So let's say we do lose the midterms, which we can all agree to disagree on that. I don't know.
Well, they haven't fixed the election.
The funniest thing to me,
pretty confident yesterday, and then tomorrow he'll be.
Before we move on, the funniest thing to me is the disinformation out there. And yeah, I love that President Trump came out and he's like, you know what, we're gonna continue to use tariffs, right? I love that. But not giving people the clear statement, because when this 150 days ends and we're back at square one, people are going to be upset. They're going to go, why did nobody bring this up? Right? Instead of just saying, oh, he defied the Supreme Court and he's just going to implement it in a different way. That's true, but in many ways it's not, because we only have this 150 days. What is that, 4 months? Right? Something like that. So it's not a very long time. And what you're going to end up with are these countries like India, Skillet, you brought it up yesterday, that want to come back to the negotiation table because they're like, well, the Supreme Court just stuck their thumb in your eye there, Mr. President. You can't use the IEFA. And so now we can come back to the table and we can lower or go back to business as normal. Let's be honest. The rhinos And the Democrats, they want business as normal. They want it to go back. Why?
Yeah, they want to keep
Because
ripping
they're
us off.
Yep, because they're all captured by foreign entities, just like the Supreme Court is.
Yep.
They're captured by foreign entities that line their pockets, right, with all types of money to screw over the American taxpayer, because we've become a nation of consumers. We don't create anything anymore. We don't build anything. We just consume Chinese junk, right? And through
And it all
through
ends up in our trash heaps.
Yep, and through our previous funny money monetary policy, where the Federal Reserve would just make money out of nothing to prop up our economy so that we could continue to consume Chinese crap, right? It's starting to fall apart. President Trump sees that, and he wants to actually try to fix it and bring manufacturing back, make us less reliant on foreign countries for, well, I don't know, stuff like our electrical grid. You realize if one of our transformers go down, we don't have a spare one right now to replace it, and you're talking months to years to actually get a new one. I think Taiwan builds them.
Dude, we're fixing Iran, dude. Don't worry.
Oh, and that's the other thing. And all this focus on Iran yesterday. What about Mexico? What about I believe the true threat? The Mexican drug cartels kill how many Americans a year with fentanyl, human trafficking, MS-13, funding MS-13, providing weapons to gangs in America. People die all the time. That's our threat. Iran's not our threat. Iran's not our threat at all. Tell me right now, anybody, and I said this Saturday on the radio, and nobody could really do it. Tell me how going into Iran and taking them out is going to make my life better as an American citizen. And I don't want the George Bush talking points of, well, they're the number one funder of terrorism. Well, so's China. China funds terrorism, civil unrest in the United States, and also provides the drug cartels with fentanyl that kill millions and millions of Americans every year. And I don't hear anybody saying, well, we should go in and bomb bomb China.
This is why they call us Panicans, because we talk about all these things and we're just so pissed that, like, why can't... Oh, there's Skillet. He popped out and back in.
Because it's the truth.
What I do,
and they can't handle the truth. They want to hear things that make them feel good. And the reality of it is things that make you feel good, things that make you feel good, right, usually lead to your own demise.
I want sugar-free
about
things that taste good.
The sugary things that taste good lead to your demise. It leads to diabetes. It leads to losing limbs. You have to face things.
We're after 6 o'clock, dude, but Skillet will give you the final word. If as long as you make fun of James a little bit and your final word.
Well, my Chinese-made pool pump had an electrician and me scratching our head yesterday, so hopefully we'll get it running today. How about that? You know?
Did you get
All
a free
I just
fortune
heard was
cookie?
that Skillet has a pool and he has a boat. And I'm about to be there.
Did the pump come with a free fortune cookie?
No.
Wow.
Not even the timer worked. Not even
Dude,
the
they should
timer
put
worked.
fortune cookies in all of the Chinese goods now. That would be awesome.
See, I would have said something that was like politically something, not about some pool pump. See, no, give it to Skillet. That's
okay,
fine.
no. We got 60 seconds. I'm way past the time right now. Go ahead.
Okay, so
final word.
Final word is
extra points if you make fun of Skillet now.
We need to quit giving foreign aid to 177 countries and start paying attention to our country. We need to beat the crap out of Mexico and don't give a crap about Iran at all. And Skillet, I hope your pump goes bad again. I don't care.
Well, it will. It's Chinese.
Right when he was about to look, he's going to get a slingshot.
Oh, he's going to crack me over the knuckles.
Dude, you got to ask for a
Hey, look, I didn't even cuss. You notice that?
That was good. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow's and have a great day. See you in the chat.